Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and the fabled wall of sound behind me. One of the many things that I do on my YouTube channel for over 8 years here, and I think I do some interesting shit overall. So I hope when you're done watching this video that you will hit the subscribe button and be a part of the channel. Metal detecting, vintage audio, restoration and listening experiences, travel galore, live streams, all kinds of fun. I recently started a topic, sports betting, and I think it's going to be fascinating because I'm at the point in my life where I have the time and a little bit of money to devote to sports betting. It's not unknown to me. I grew up on the streets of Baltimore booking bets with bookies in Little Italy, Muggs Deli and Shop, right, and other places down there. And I did pretty good by and large. I spent quite a bit of time at Pimlico Racetrack too growing up, betting the ponies. But now I'm back to put my attention on it. And every direction I go, people are talking about the models. And I'm thinking to myself, good Lord, models, right? Spreadsheets, Excel, my model says this. I ran my model today, my model says that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what do you say, right? What do you say besides what your model says? The models, I think, and you may agree with me by the end here, because I take a very philosophical bend on things, because that's my nature, to try to drill down deep on subjects and not accept the fact that a computer with the input that you give it or someone else gives it is going to be able to make any better decision than I can, using the old kielbasa here on my head to make decisions. Let's get down to it. Models. A model, whether it's baseball, horse racing, football, is only as good as the input factors that you give it. Right? You tell it starting pitch is important, so is the bullpen. Here's the offensive standings right now. Which team's leading in offense? Here's their batting average. Here's the batting average against. Here's what the bullpen's done. Their whip, the ERA, blah, 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 blah. Load that in. Today we got the Colorado Rockies playing at the Chicago Cubs. My model says blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. But I don't see anybody running models, at least it's talking about it. It's having success, right? And if you listen on a daily basis and you listen to the picks that people are making and the ones that they get right and the ones they get wrong, it almost seems like a 50-50 deal. Picking winners is easy. 80% of the public can pick winners. We all know coming up that Alabama is going to beat Texas, but the question is, you don't make money on that choice unless you put $1,500 on the money line to win 100. In which case, you might get screwed if there's quarterback gets hurt or something happens, and Texas manages to pull a rabbit out of their, you know what, and win the game. Risk a hell of a lot to win a little bit, but the picking is not the hard part. It's picking against the spread and against the bookmakers. It's the real trick. And when you want to do that, beat the spread, beat the bookmakers, all of a sudden your success rate drops down usually below 50%. Does a model fix this? Does a model help you bet better against the spread? You may say it does. But I say it takes decision making out of your brain and puts it into a computer using only the factors that you put in. You are making decisions based on deductive reasoning, deducing an outcome only using the factors that you've inputted into that model. But we know that there are other factors that can't be incorporated into a model, the psychological aspects of things. The fact that you might have a wide receiver and a safety that have a history between them and really don't like each other that much. And one of them feeling he's a heavy underdog as a favorite and going to get chewed up as a safety trying to cover a premier wide receiver. You just have to get a little overeager and get a little hands in there, a little handsy poo, and draw some pass interference penalties. Which, if you're the opposing quarterback, you love those kind of situations because that's easy yardage, right? Get them tied up, get those hands in there, and get the yardage. Those factors you can't put into a model. You can put number of turnovers, but you can't tell what happens if we do a substitution this week and we remove Butterfingers from the backfield and we put in a running back with good hands. You might get a little less in yardage, but he's probably not going to turn over the ball, right? How sophisticated is your model to account for that? How sophisticated is your model in analyzing how fired up the opposition team is? What's come out in the news this week, for example? Tennessee can't get the tickets that they want to go to the Pitt game. And they're very irritated, and that being irritated has spread itself through the whole organization. Tennessee volunteers say to themselves, good Lord, we gave you guys 2,000 choice seats right behind the Pitt bench last year. You guys had all the Southern hospitality, Tennessee stuff. And when it comes time for us to go to Pittsburgh, kaboomba, baby. Get out of town. We're going to put you up in the seats, in the nosebleed seats, and maybe a few behind the band. Great. There's a lot of factors that go into a game. And I kind of am going to be a rebel against models when it comes to doing sports betting. Now, so far it's been, doubled the bankroll. Been at it a couple weeks. Expect to lose quite a bit here. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time picking winners. I'm going to see what the spreads are and set about seeing how I feel about the outcome is going to be based on all the other factors that aren't going to be in your model. Let's give an example. Poor Hawaii, a total rebuilding program under a legendary former quarterback at Hawaii, the Hawaii Rainbows. After getting beat by Vanderbilt handily in game one, they now have to hit the road, travel to Michigan. Big top five school, well coached, 70, 80,000 rabid fans in the seats, noisy, crazy. It's not a question of whether Hawaii's going to lose. Bookmakers tell us they're going to lose and set a line 50, 60 points. Some people will be of the opinion, well, they're going to run it up 80 points, 90 points. Maybe Hawaii gets lucky and gets a fluke touchdown or a fumble recovery. The point is, what's not going to be revealed in your model is how that coach is going to act when the score gets to 28-0. 35-3, 42-3. You got 20 more points to go. And this coach is like, hey, you know what? We're beating the hell out of these guys are like dead on the street. Why kick them when they're down? Let's put the third team in. And maybe the third team just runs up and down the field, gets the odd field goal or whatever. Experience. Your model's going to have a real hard time contending with that. But a holistic bettor might say, who let the dogs out? Who's going to call the dogs in? Right? Say to themselves, it's kind of unlikely that Hawaii's going to score on the first team of Michigan, maybe the second team too. So how's it going to play out? You put these considerations in, and you free up your mind to consider other factors of travel problems, of airport connection problems, of not having the proper hotel arrangements, or things have gone wrong, or it's just been a bad trip. Storm delays getting from Hawaii, or this factor or that factor, or problems happen in Michigan and things like that. There's all kinds of factors that affect it. I said before, the wide receiver and the safety that they got a history. Your model's not going to put it in there. The people coming in from the transfer portal. You were there last year, the team. Now you have all these superstars have transferred in, new quarterbacks. Man, they're great. Well, I guess that made us dogs then, didn't it? Any resentment? How are they going to gel together as a unit? Right. What if the performance isn't there? We've already seen it. Oregon and Georgia. It doesn't always bear fruit, and in that particular game, I knew it wouldn't bear fruit. Okay? But the models said that Oregon has a chance to win this game. Really? And I got nothing against Oregon because they've been a great program and kicked my Cal Bears butts for years. But I had a feeling that this was not going to be the solution to Oregon, and it panned out in a devastating deer in the headlights loss to a great team. How did the bookmakers get it wrong? I think it lacked a holistic approach to considering how the quarterback would fit within the program, and tells, just like in poker, tells that you get from the coaches when they do their pre-game discussions. One that comes out and says simply, man, we're ready, and the other one comes out and says, the kids have been doing good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's rounding into form. Right? Oh, you learn so much from coaches' conferences before games and also post-game conferences. But how many people are checking out the coaches' assessments before the game? Tells you a lot about managing expectations. You're never going to hear, man, we're going to get our asses kicked out there. It's just the kids are doing good. They're up to speed. They got the program. They got the drill. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're rounding into form. Beautiful. Go put your $50,000, $100,000 on that. All right, let me see how you turn out. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this little look at holistic or inductive decision making by looking at everything that's there besides what may be in a model and saying, oh, based on all this, I'm coming to a different conclusion. Then would a simple model push enter, put, bet Oregon for an upset. I hope that you'll sub and be a part of this journey coming up as I take the road to $1 million. It's going to be fun, and I'm going to have plenty more to say about it. Thanks for watching the holistic inductive approach versus deductive modeling in picking winners in sports. Thumbs up or appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, that bell for all notifications, and check out all the other stuff that I do on the channel here. Thanks, everybody.